Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto YAHAWAH, BaHa, YAHAWASHI, RACHAA, QADASH, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching His word in all sincerity and in truth. This is just going to be a continuation of a video I was doing earlier in response to Vocab Malone's live, where he was justifying the Israeli state with no scrutiny, no accountability, no spiritual or biblical edification. He was just running with the colonialism, man. He was running with that so-called white supremacy. You know, he's running with that propaganda, those lies, that deceit, like the serpent that he is. You know, and yeah, it's the nature of Esau Edom. So we was in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, so I'm just going to keep it going because there's a few bits that I want to share. All right, so Habakkuk 2 and 4 says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith." Okay, we the just, the Israelites, we live by faith in these scriptures, by faith in the promises of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which, by the way, those JOOs were not in faith of the promise of the Most High. Yeah, I already brought that out. All right, how Ben Gurion and them were reliant on the promises of the UN and Lord Balfour. They didn't consider the Zionism as a promise from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai or fulfillment from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. They only used the Bible as a reference, as a historical reference, that saying that they were the people that once lived there, so it's their natural homeland. But they didn't believe in the promise of Abraham or the blessing or anything like that, because they were secular. They didn't even believe in God. They believed that the Bible was literally written by men. Somebody made it up. That's the truth. Go look it up. Ben Gurion and all them, the top Zionists were all secular. All right. So they don't live by faith any damn way. We're the ones living by faith and being justified through our faith. Because we're the real Israelites. So yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Right? The beginning of pride is when a man's heart turneth away from his maker. Like I said, they don't consider the scriptures nor the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. So like I was going into, each nation of people pursuing to Deuteronomy 32 and 8 was given their inheritance in the earth. Right? That's your home. That's where you belong. Now, when you go outside of your home, you don't keep at home. That represents that you're always coveting, man. You're always out there looking to take from someone else. And that is the spirit of Esau Edom. That's why they dominate every continent there is on the face of this planet Earth. Their colonialism knew no flipping bounds. They are the only people to have reached themselves throughout the 4 corners of the earth to dominate it. From North America to South America, from Africa to Asia, from Asia into Europe. This man, there's nowhere where he hasn't put his covetousness. And that's a fact. That's why there's no people on the earth that don't have a bone to pick with Esau Edom. If you was to line up all the different nations in the earth, yeah, the one people that has violated all other people is Esau Edom. And that's a fact. That's why whenever you're at work, all different nations of people can come together and talk shit about Esau. And don't tell me you ain't experienced that. Okay? Listen, when I'm at work, Elam, it could be Elam, it could be Moab, it could be Ishmael, it could be Ham. We'll all be there together talking ish about Esau Edom. When Esau Edom walks in, you got to change the subject and start talking about football. That's a fact. That's the one nation of people that has violated all others. That's why it says he is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what you see him doing over there in the Middle East. All right. The Israeli state was just an extension of the British Empire. All right. Who sanctioned it? The Balfour Declaration. From who? The British, because Palestine was British at that time. It was part of the British Empire. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taught in proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? That's a thief. A thief increases that which is not his. And that's what Esau has done. The wealth that Esau is increased unto himself is the wealth of others. And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, right? Debts. This man has a financial debt. He also has a spiritual debt, a blood debt to the people. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land. Because Esau's always behind the destabilization and the violence. That's what his intelligence services are all about: destabilization and violence. They master in that, espionage. And for the violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwell therein. They're the masters of setting up groups within other groups to cause chaos. That's what the Mossad does, the CIA does. That's why you could trace all these so-called jihadi groups are all linked to foreign intelligence agencies. The Taliban, the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, ISIS, they're all linked to the CIA, Mossad, and British intelligence. In fact, prior to British intelligence, these were led by German intelligence. That's why the Muslim Brotherhood has a history of being British intelligence. And all these intelligence agencies are connected because they're just arms of Esau. And what they do is they set up these counter groups to destabilize countries so they could come in and grab up the resources. Just like how they're using Hamas right now. They're using Hamas as a straw man to go in and covet onto themselves the land that the Palestinians inhabit. All right, it says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. And that's what they do. They gather the wealth unto themselves so they could live good and they could live in safety. Meanwhile, everyone else is being violated. All right, now, what was the other scripture that I wanted to get? Now, I got Mike, I got Habakkuk too. Yeah, I want to show you this clip now, because you see, this is what Vocab Malone don't do. He's not balanced. He ain't going to bring this side of the information out. So let's play this clip, and you're going to see what Vocab Malone is supporting. And you see, he don't care to know the truth, because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's not genuine. He's not sincere. He doesn't. And first of all, if the light of the Lord is with you, the truth will reveal itself unto you. But you see, these guys, they don't want to know the truth. And even if they found out the truth, they'll ignore it because they're devils. All right? People like Vocab Malone, man, they make me sick.
Religiously, but in fact, it is fundamentally a political conflict like the conflict in Israel-Palestine. It is a conflict about colonialism. Israel as a state was born out of European colonialism.
Exactly that. European colonialism. This Israeli state isn't a Hebrew state. The Israeli state is a European state. These are Europeans. These are Edomites. That's why their country is based on European values and European laws to the most part. It's a European system. It's a European system of government. Ain't nothing Hebrew about that. They just throw a little sprinkling of Hebrew in there, man. That ain't no Hebrew. That's a different type of Hebrew. That's that Hebrew Edomite.
Theodor Herzl, the father of the modern political Zionist movement, which called for the creation of a Jewish state in Palestinian Arab territory.
And another thing I need to say, notice they always talk about the Jewish state. The restoration of the nation of Israel has nothing to do with Jews or Jewish. When the Lord prophesied that he was going to restore, right, the nation of Israel, he's going to restore exactly that. The nation of Israel, which comprises of 12 tribes. It's not going to be a Jewish kingdom. It's going to be an Israelite kingdom. The whole idea of the Jews and the Jewish was part of us being cursed and broken and divided. When the Lord reestablishes the Israelites, it's not going to be Jewish. It's not going to be Jews. It's going to be Israelites. We're going to be together as one. right? It tells you that in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, right? How the tribes are going to come together as one nation again. So the very idea that there's a Jewish nation now is actually against the scriptures, because the Lord never prophesied that he was going to restore the Jewish nation. In fact, hold on, let's get that. Let's get some prophecies about restore. That's in Jeremiah. This obsession with Jewish this, Jewish that. That's why you always hear them talk about Jewish this. The Lord ain't dealing with nothing Jewish. The only thing that was Jewish back then was Judea, and Judea was a Roman province, and Judea was destroyed, and rightfully so, because the Lord ain't dealing with Judea, and he ain't dealing with no Jewish. He's dealing with the Israelites. That's why he said he died not for that nation only, but also for the children of God which are gathered abroad. Yeah? Come on, man. This is Jeremiah 30 and 3 says, "For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah." So that's all the 12 tribes, saith the Lord. "And I will cause them, all the tribes, to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it." Right? These are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. So why do they always call it a Jewish nation? When the Lord ain't dealing with no Jewish. The Lord is dealing with the Israelites. Right? That's why we're not Hebrew Jewish. We're Hebrew Israelites. You got the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Issachar, Ephraim on down. The 12 tribes. There's going to be 144,000 men, 12,000 from each tribe. New Jerusalem, not new Jewish. Bun all that Jewish talk. We ain't dealing with that. We're not dealing with the Jews either. It just so happened the scripture says that the Lord was going to save the tents of Judah first. So when the Lord came with the gospel was spread among Judea first. But then it got spread throughout the whole world. Because it ain't just about the Jews. It was about Israel as a nation. That's why they like to focus, because that when you ask them, well, where are the other tribes? And why ain't you trying to find them? You ever notice that they don't put no money or research into finding where the other tribes are? Because it's bullshit. Hell out of here, man. Anyway, what does it say here? Jeremiah 30 and 10. "Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob," not the Jewish, Jacob. That's all the tribes together, saith the Lord. "Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity." The Lord is going to save us, not Arthur Balfour and the United Nations. "And Jacob shall return, all the tribes, and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid." So when the Israelites are restored and brought back into the land, they ain't gonna be afraid of the nations like Benjamin Natta, real Jew, always running up in the UN crying and wailing and scared like a big pussy gal. Always in there crying, "Oh, they're gonna destroy us." Get out of here, man. Crying all the damn time, trying to play victim. Anyway, "For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished." Now let me jump down, because I want to get the point. Jeremiah 30 and 17. "For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they call thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith," what does it say? "The restoration of Jacob," not the Jewish or the Jews, "the restoration of Jacob. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents." What's Jacob's tents? All the tribes. "And have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be building upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof." So this ain't about just the Jewish. That's why they call it Israel, but it's really the Jewish state, and it only has people that call themselves Jews. It's BS. It's BS, man. 100%. All right. The Lord is about the 12 tribes. So let's jump back over here, man, because I hate that, man. I'm telling you.
He wrote a letter to the infamous British colonialist Cecil Rhodes, who got rich stealing the natural resources of Africa and, in fact, He had an entire colony named after him, Rhodesia, which is modern day Zimbabwe. In this letter to Cecil Rhodes, Herzl said that his plan for creating an Israeli state was, quote, something colonial. He referred to it.
It's just an extension of colonialism. As the Bible say, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's what it is. It's an extension of colonialism, and they appointed the land into their possession. They're a bunch of heathens. That land was appointed by man, by the declaration of men, by the pride and the will of men was it done. Not of the righteous will of Yahawah, SHAM, YAHAWASHI, and the Messiah. Because the Messiah is the one that's going to manifest the salvation unto Israel. Hence why he's the Messiah and the Savior. Come on, man. Come on, what's going on? Hold on.
In this letter to Cecil Rhodes, Herzl said that his plan for creating an Israeli state was, quote, something colonial. He referred to it as a European-style colony, which is what it was.
That's exactly what it is. It's a European-style colony, man. Right? It's It's Edomites, man. It's just a fake. It's a Edomite colony, and they're faking the funk to be Israelites. They're pantomime Israelites, man. They ain't, listen, it's a joke thing. It's a joke thing. They got a shekel that's not even a shekel. A shekel is a measurement of weight. A shekel ain't a fiat currency. What the hell is wrong with these people? That's not a shekel. A shekel is a measurement of weight, man. What the hell? What are you trying to fool, man? Eh? Well, I tell you one thing, like my man said from, what was it? Snatch. Because if the milk's sour, I ain't the type of pussy to drink it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that milk's sour, Rasta. We ain't drinking that. About shekel. What's wrong with these man? Take man for an idiot. And then this guy Vocab gonna act like he's some super smart dude. Get the hell out of here, man. Con man. Right, Ezekiel 36. Where's the bit that I'm looking for? What? Where am I looking for? Yeah, there we go. Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed. That's what they did. They appointed through the British Empire. They appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, because the people that did it know that they're not the Israelites. They're only using the moniker of being called the Jews as an excuse to steal that land, as an excuse for colonialism. That's all it is. They know they're not the Israelites. They know they don't even believe in God, man. Come on. They're secular. With the joy of all their heart, with the despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. They're just preying upon the land. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
As a European-style colony, which is what it was. And then in 1917, the British Empire issued the Balfour Declaration, in which the British Empire officially endorsed the creation of a European-style colonial Jewish state in Palestinian territory. Again, this is at the peak of the British Empire. Israel has always been a colonial project. Then in 1948, militias from the Zionist movement, which sought to create an Israeli state, they ethnically cleansed hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, kicking them off their homelands in what is known as the Nakba. And today there are now millions.
Your man Vocab Malone ain't got nothing to say about that. He dodging that. He don't even want to talk about that. He don't even recognize that happened. Because he don't care. He's a racist. He doesn't care. Listen, the only people that Vocab care about is his own people and himself. He don't care. That's why he don't even mention it.
Millions of Palestinians in the diaspora who do not have the right to go back to their homeland. This led to the creation of an entire United Nations agency called UNRWA, the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees. And today they have 6 million Palestinian refugees.
It's a blood clot. Look at that. There's 6 million Palestinians today that's registered that were displaced by these people. What vocab, according to replacement theology that you believe in, they had no right to remove these people. But you ain't gonna talk on it. Oh yeah. You ain't gonna because for one, you don't care, and for two, you don't want to be demonetized because you're making money being the street apologist. Well, you gonna be the street apologist because the spirit of Yahawah SHAM YAHAWASHI, he gonna melt you in them streets, man. When the missiles hit, you gonna become part of them streets, and then you really gonna be an apologist on them streets. Trust me. Bare apologies.
Registered. Again, they're not able to return to their homeland because of Western-backed Israeli colonialism. Then in 1967, Israel occupied the West Bank, which is where still millions of Palestinians today live under an illegal apartheid regime of occupation, military occupation by Israeli forces. Israel also occupied Syria's sovereign territory of the Golan Heights, which remains illegally militarily occupied by Israel. And today we're going to be talking about Gaza. Israel also occupied
Gaza, we say. Oh.
The Gaza Strip near Egypt, and Israel has maintained a suffocating blockade of Gaza.
Them man got them people under siege. Now, did you know that a siege is a declaration of war? Did you know that a siege is a declaration of war? Vocab Malone, we mean to tell me all that studying man did for theology, you didn't know that a siege is a declaration of war? If you put a people under siege, that's why when if you stop a people from getting the resources they need to survive, that's a declaration of war, which is why the America actually declared war on Japan and not the other way around. They like to tell you that the war began with Pearl Harbor. No, the war began when the United States of America put an embargo on Japan getting oil for its industries. That's when the war began, because an embargo is a declaration of war, if you didn't know that. Don't believe me, Google it.
So good.
Hey, yo.
This is an extra large t-shirt that I bought.
Yeah.
In 2022, UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, published a report on the humanitarian impact of 15 years of the Israeli blockade of the Gaza Strip. And there are a lot of very inconvenient facts in here that I want to go through because, again, they're almost never mentioned in the mainstream corporate media. UNICEF notes that the Israeli blockade was imposed on Gaza in 2007. So now it has been 16 years of a blockade. And this is not just a land blockade. It is also a sea blockade and an air blockade. Israel controls everything that goes in and out of the territory.
So, to Ross, you know how big one of them RACHAA rockets is? If them man are struggling to even get food in, yeah, and Israel is controlling the border by land, by air, and by sea, then I wonder how it is that Hamas is getting all of these rockets. Yes, use your brain. The very same people that's running the blockade is the very same people that's allowing Hamas to get access to these so-called rockets that they're firing into Israel, which don't ever do no real damage anyway, because it's all set up as an excuse to then send real rockets over into Gaza and turn it into a ghost town so they could build up their settlements in the rubble, from the ashes.
Gaza has no sovereignty. As UNICEF puts it, Israel has significantly exacerbated previous restrictions, limiting the number and specified categories of people and goods allowed in and out through the Israeli-controlled crossings. Israeli forces have largely restricted access to areas within 300 meters of the Gaza side of the perimeter fence with Israel. So they've surrounded Gaza with a massive fence. And whenever Palestinians protest inside Gaza, Israeli snipers shoot them, including not only peaceful protesters, but also medics, also journalists.
They've killed I think they've killed 20 plus American journalists that's been over there, the IDF. But Vocab said that's cool, innit? That's all right. They can shoot up journalists and do what they want to do, is shoot up dead. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, isn't it? It's all good. That's good and Christian, man. But imagine it. Can you imagine if we were shooting journalists? Yo, can you imagine if the Hebrew Israelites were shooting journalists? What Vocab would say about us? He'd say we are the most evil people ever to ever exist on the planet Earth, and replacement theology, we got no right. This is the kind of demon. The reason I'm bringing this out is to show you what kind of demons we're dealing with. These people are hypocrites, man. They're not sincere. That's why we don't want to debate with people like Vocab, because you can't debate with a demon. The demon ain't gonna accept nothing, because he's not about the truth. He's about himself.
Investigated and found that Israel intentionally shot and in many cases killed Palestinian medics and journalists during massive protests over months in Gaza in 2018 as part of the Great March of Return. UNICEF also pointed out that Israeli forces restrict access off the Gaza coast, currently only allowing fishermen to access 50% of the fishing waters that were allocated to them under the Oslo Accord. So again,
of course,
violating...
because the man, listen, the man are greedy. You listen, if Esau will take 9 and give you 1, and then come and try to take 2 from you anyway. That's how the devil operate. Because he's covetous, man. A demon, man.
These agreements that Israel signs. Furthermore, the unemployment rate in Gaza is one of the highest in the entire world, 46.6%. Nearly half of Gazans do not have a job. Among youth, it's even more outrageous. Nearly 2/3, 62.5% of youth in Gaza do not have a job because Israel prevents them from having an economy.
The Israelites, the real Israelites, when we get power over that land, you Palestinians are going to get work. Listen, this is what we do know. There ain't going to be no unemployment for any of them Palestinians that survive once the real Israelites get into the land. We're going to make sure 100% employment rate, okay? Because we're generous like that. We you know, we're real generous. Everybody 100% employment, yeah? We that can be a promise. There ain't going to be none of this, mankind can't find work. You're going to find work, innit? Remember the song did say, every posse must work, work. Every posse must work, work harder. Yeah, so don't worry, man. Ain't gonna be no unemployment line.
1.3 million out of 2.1 million Palestinians in Gaza, that is 62%, require food assistance. And that number, by the way, has increased because the estimate's now around 2.3 million Palestinians. And there's only one power plant in Gaza, and Israel constantly bombs it, destroying it, which means that
I guess there's a member of Hamas hiding underneath the power plant. That man has some real...
only capacity that it can reach is 50% of the electricity demand.
Now, when you blow out the electricity and there's people in the hospital relying on equipment, what do you think happens to them people? When there's babies on incubators, but they want to talk about babies. But get the hell out of here, man.
In Gaza, which means that there are rolling power cuts and they average 11 hours a day. So basically, if you live in Gaza, you only have electricity half the time. Meanwhile, nearly 80% of piped water in Gaza is unfit for human consumption, and Israel constantly bombs the water treatment plant, which prevents Palestinians from having water to survive. This is why figures even like the conservative former Prime Minister of the UK, David Cameron, have admitted that Gaza is an open-air prison. This should not be a controversial statement. It is an open-air prison camp with 2.3 million Palestinians.
Vocab's down with this, you know. So then you don't mind putting people in slavery, man. Oh, but you don't want it to be you, innit? Too bad. Too bad. The scriptures is clear, man. You're going into an open... The whole earth is going to be an open-air prison for you Edomites. Prison, like Alex Jones, Prison Planet.
Trapped under an Israeli blockade. This is one of the most densely populated regions of the world, and yet they're treated like cattle. They're not treated like human beings. In fact, documents from Israel's defense ministry prove that Israel controlled the amount of food that can be imported into Gaza in order to, quote, put Palestinians on a diet, to control their access to food. This was reported on a decade ago in the Guardian newspaper, and they say very clearly, this is, the establishment British mouthpiece. They say, quote, the Israeli military made precise calculations of Gaza's daily calorie needs, according to files the defense ministry released. Israel also maintained a list of foods that were permitted and banned from Gaza. Israel calculated the calorie needs for Gaza's population.
That's it. No, I don't, I'm just giving you, listen, you can go watch this whole video. He breaks it down. It's colonialism, it's wickedness, it's oppression, and Vocab's down with that. So well done, Vocab. You confirmed everything that we've been saying about you. Yes, scum. Let's get Donald Sterling tape up real quick. Donald Sterling voice recording.
Discover more with Marriott Bonvoy.
Donald Sterling is something new. Let's see what you have to say. He's a bad man still, but let's forget about me.
You have to.
You associate with black people.
I'm not you and you're not me. You're supposed to be a delicate.
And you're asking me to remove something that's part of me and in my bloodstream.
Hold on, I just want to find the part of the tape when he talks about
in your
Israel.
whole life, every day you can.
Emergency self-defense necessary for outdoor travel.
Yo,
Have you ever seen an alloy steel trekking pole that can...
relax yourself with
I
that.
really don't want to discuss anymore. It's better to break apart now than to break apart. You can do whatever you want. And not. There's nothing to argue about. We gotta pay.
What would you like me to do? Remove?
Making something up.
I mean, I just don't understand what the issue is.
There's nothing wrong with you or your skin color. Why are you saying these things? To upset me? Out of really hurt.
It feels above the world, and you can't even be seen with some of a different skin color. Educated, a man who's
Talking about it. Let's finish our discussion with a period. No negativity. I love everybody. I love black people. You don't have to.
Where's the bit? Is
with
it
Larry Bird, what it kept me.
In the
Hold on, I'm trying to find the bit
Well,
where
your
he speaks
family-
about Israel.
And he happens to be black, and I'm sorry.
Maybe I missed it. I went too far.
with black people. Maybe you want to adjust to the world, feel certain things. Hispanic culture.
What is
People feel certain things. Hispanics feel.
What's wrong with minorities?
Salaki, I want to find the bit where he
I don't
speaks
wanna
about
argue.
Be
Israel.
racist in my heart.
And that's
I understand that that's you. Is it a benefit
people think of you. I understand you. That bothers me a lot. Broadcast that you're to be a delicate white or a delicate.
or not? Upbringing, black people,
I don't want you to hate. That's what.
but they're not in public.
The hell?
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
I feel that way so strongly, and it may cause our
It's hate in their heart.
every day. You could do whatever day. You could do
What the hell?
whatever
Where's
you
the
want.
bit that would
Well, I
be?
ask you, is not the perfect problem here. I
Anyone knows.
don't get anywhere. I don't.
What would you like me?
I don't know where
Something
this
up.
shit is,
Where
man.
you
It's somewhere
making
in here. I might have to just look up the
Or you're
manuscript. I wanted you to let you hear him say it
So
about the state of
I don't
Israel.
have any hate. I love them.
I cannot understand
Why would you say
how a
that?
person like you who's elevated, who's here, still feels above the world, and you can't even be seen with someone in which is considered of a different skin
They
color.
can be with me all day long, all night long.
I can't
Salaki,
believe that a man
okay.
who's educated, a man who's a scholar, a man
Well,
who's
believe it and stop talking about it. Let's finish our discussion with a period, okay? You're not making any good points. You can't believe it.
We are finally hearing from Donald Sterling, the owner of the LA Clippers.
What I'll do is I'll
Announce
just
it.
get
The racist comments sparked widespread.
the physical.
Don't buy
tape
another
because-
toothbrush until you see what this
Let me
one
get-
can do
let me
for
just
you.
Pull up
You-
the Donald Sterling, what he said, the transcript. Salakia, I thought I could find it real quick. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just skipping to it too quickly. Donald Sterling. There we go. Donald Sterling's alleged racist remarks. And I want to get the bit where he talks about Israel. Let's get straight to the point. I'm just bringing this out to make a point that he made a note to speak about how racist. What? Wait, where is the info? Have they scrubbed this off the internet or what? Or is it the extended transcript? They've scrubbed this, ain't this, off the internet? Salakia Akyam. There's a bit where he speaks about the Israeli state and how racist it is. Hold on. Yeah. Should have found this beforehand. I need to show you this because proof. There we go. Extended Donegal records. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. The extended clip. They tried to hide it, man. There we go. Beautiful. Got it. Salakia Akim. It took me a while, but I got it. This is the bit where he's talking about. I don't know why they're making it so difficult to find it, but I got it now. So this is what Donald Wells said. He said, it's the world. So he was trying to explain basically to his girlfriend why he didn't want her bringing black people to his games. He said, it's the world. Now, he's a so-called Jew. You go to Israel, the blacks are just treated like dogs. You do have to treat them. And she says, so do you have to treat them like that too? He said, the white Jews, there's white Jews and black Jews. Do you understand? And then she said, are the black Jews less than the white Jews? And he said 100%, 50 and 100%. She said, and is that right? And he said, it isn't a question. We don't evaluate what's right and wrong. We live in a society. We live in a culture. We have to live within that culture. So what is Donald Sterling, a so-called Jew, telling you about the culture of the JOOs? They're racist. And they don't. So this is the people that Vocab Malone is supporting. A bunch of racists. And this was from the Donald Sterling transcript, man, with the recording. I'm sure if you look enough, you'll find the extended recording, and it's in there. I can't pinpoint it. Like,
don't buy another toothbrush until you see what this one can do for you. Using it only takes 30 seconds for a professional result. The dental industry is being disrupted by this invention, as it is considered to be an effective method for deep cleaning and whiten your teeth. It was invented by John Moore, a prominent but frustrated dentist.
There we go.
I'm sorry. Is there anything that I can do to make you feel better?
No, you can never make me feel better.
I'm sorry.
You're just a fighter and you want to fight. And I'm not the man who wants to fight.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Everything was okay and perfect.
I'm just telling you, you told me you were going to remove it. So Dennis, the second dentist who looked at me, made that comment.
You have the key? Yeah. Okay, right now.
To do.
To you? Mother, I think you have an amazing home. Are the black Jews less than the white Jews?
The blacks are just treated like dogs.
Amazing heart, honey. I think the people around you have poison mind and have a way of thinking.
It's the world. You go to Israel, the blacks are just treated like dogs.
So do you have a poison mind and have a way of thinking?
It's the world. You go to Israel, the blacks are just treated like dogs.
So do you have to treat them like that too?
The white Jews, there's white Jews or black Jews. Do you understand?
And are the black Jews less than the white Jews?
100%, 50, 100%.
And is that right?
It is a question. We don't evaluate what's right and wrong. We live in a society. We live in a culture. We have to live within that culture.
But shouldn't we take a stand for what's wrong and be the change and the difference?
I don't want to change the culture because I can't. It's too big.
But you can change yourself.
I don't want to change it.
So yeah, there you have it. Donald Sterling letting you know what's good, what's really going on out here, and that's you know, Vocab is in agreement with all that. That's what he's all about, man. He don't have a problem with that. You know, it's all bullshit. He only got a problem with us, all right? And I just wanted to show you that this is the truth. This is what we told you about this man from the very beginning, man. They're just racist, man. That's all they are. They're racist, and they hide behind the cloak of Christianity, and that's what it is, right? That's what I wanted to bring out, all right? Salakia, it took me so long to find that it's the extended version that has it. Because the original version they tried to make popular didn't have the full tape. This is the full tape. And then where he said all that, man. You know, and that's why they had to get him to sell his shares in the company and put him to the side. Because he basically exposed that all those rich Edomites and all them, this is how they think. And that's why he didn't want the girlfriend bringing black guys to the game. Because this is how they are. This is how things are. And he let it be known. This is the way of the world. This is the culture. The hell out here, Vocab, man. Damn devil. Yeah, so, you know, with that, man, I'm just going to close up, man. Let's say, Kal, Halal, Yahawah, Shem, YAHAWASHI, RACHAA, QADASH. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you brothers out in the highways and the byways teaching his word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom.